All right, Kent State and Akron. We've got Akron 6-point home favorites, 46.5 the total. This is also a Tuesday night game in the MAC. Akron, obviously, look, that shows you how bad UMass is. Holy goodness. I mean, 44-10. Akron laying a beatdown over the UMass Minutemen, and they were only laying 11.5 in that game and won and covered with ease. Ben Finley was very solid, and more importantly, Jordan Gant on the ground just ripped apart that UMass hideous run defense for 2 rushing touchdowns and 153 rushing yards in that game over UMass. That shows you how UMass is just atrocious. I mean, they are absolutely right there as one of the worst teams in the country, Division I college football right now. We'll see how they fare here against Kent State. Kent State coming off a actually competitive showing against Ball State last week, but offense just really couldn't get over the hump. DeShields was erratic all over the place, couldn't get the run game going. You look at Ball State, and it was a game they did enough offensively. Kent State actually outgained Ball State despite losing that game last week to the Cardinals. What ended up hurting, unfortunately, was unable to finish drives really from that Kent State offense. Turned the ball over on downs a couple of times, so that ended up being the difference in that game. This is probably one I'm not going to have a strong opinion on, other than you look at Akron these last 2 games, 2-0 straight up, 2-0 against the spread, and you go back further than that, 3 games. Their offense has started to hum a little bit here in conference play. Other than Miami O, who's got one of the better defenses, Chuck Martin always has a pretty good defensive team. Other than that, Akron scored 28 against Central Michigan in a win as a dog, 28 in a loss to Ball State, 24 when they beat Buffalo outright as an underdog, and then the 44 spot last week against UMass. So I think Akron can probably score some points here. Can you get something from this Kent State team? Because everyone scores on UMass, and Kent State did put up 42 points against UMass, but other than that, they got held to 10 by Toledo. Did score 24 against Bowling Green in an outright win a couple weeks ago, 13, and struggled to finish drives last week against Ball State. But I'm inclined to lean a little bit here over the total in this game. The side's tough, but I don't know if I want to step in front of Akron. Do I want to lay 6 with them? Not so sure about that, but Akron has definitely turned a little bit of a corner here. Back-to-back wins by margin against Buffalo and UMass. So, but you are talking in-state game here between these 2 teams. So I don't want to get in front of the nice little uptick we've seen out of Akron here in recent games, but doesn't mean I'm running to lay 6 points either. With the Zips in this game. I think the over is probably the stance that I prefer, side or total here. C-Mac, what do you think? Kent State, Akron.
Randall, my dude, great to see you, my guy. Up and in here. Early and Adam, Monday college football. Can't beat it, right, man? Yep. Don't you love doing this?
Absolutely.
Shit.
Yep.
All right, well, I'll take fucking Kent State. Fuck Akron. All right? Give me the points here with them. A whole lot of love. Both these teams beat the shit out of UMass. One thing with Kent State, I think it's a little skewed because all those great teams they play, good teams. Florida State's gone downhill, Oklahoma, Texas Tech, just losing last week, and that
said they still tested themselves very nicely in the non-conference. Kent State, they did. Yep.
Yeah, so I think they're live here. I think this is way too big. A lot of love for Akron after a big win. I just love it. I want to fade the shit out of them in this game. Nothing changes. One thing with Kent State, both these offenses suck. Akron's a little bit better. Kent State's awful. Only 271 yards a game. That's 135th. They don't run the ball. Hate teams that can't run it. We talk about it all the time. 132nd, only 87. But Akron's got a horrible run defense. They should be able to get a little bit more in this game, right? You think? I mean, they gave up almost 170 this Akron. So I think they're just too similar going through everything here on the board. And I think even though they're at home, I think it's a steal. The Kent State team that's playing a lot better of late. Got to win against Bowling Green. Tight game against Ball State. Give me the 6 here all day long.
All right, there you go. Strong recommendation.
Strong.
Plus the 6 against Akron.